Like, what is that thing? Apparently mines more look like this here. Let's have a look at this one. Oh fuck. Welcome back to the Freemilesmc, and we will make our way over the Trans-Europe Trail to Croatia today. But first, we have to get going in this hostel. So we're now getting going here at the youth hostel. We are today making our way to Croatia. And we are making our way to Croatia over the Trans-Europe Trail. We will have over 100 kilometers of off-road today in front of us. And I'm really curious how it's going to go. I always wanted to go over the Trans-Europe Trail at some point in my life, and I never got close to it. But today we're going to have the chance, and I'm also curious if my Royal Enfield Interceptor can handle it, you know, as we're not riding the ideal bike for this. My night in the hostel was so far quite good. I had a good time sleeping, and also working was a bit hard though, because the hostel was a bit of a wild one, because the hostel was in an old public, like not in an old, like a still active public school. So there were kids running around, like teenagers, and it really made me realize I don't want to go back to high school like ever. And like loads of people screaming at each other, having like a really high sound level all over the place. And also they were just wild and was like so close to me all the time. But yeah, so let's get some fuel so we can manage the Trans-Europe Trail today. So, we have a bit of an issue. There's a river. And this looks like a river crossing. It seems very doable. We will do it. We'll just need to check it out first, because checking stuff like this out first is always good. And I'm pretty sure I could just wing it, you know? But just winging stuff is never a good idea, so for the rest of this trip, let's say for the rest of this channel, every river we're going to encounter, however small it is, we will check it out first on foot. How deep is that? Oh, that stuff is too deep for my shoes already. So, let's take the shoes off. Let's put up. Yeah, the water temperature is very fresh, I have to say. And yeah, you can feel the water flowing, and fuck, this is very slippery. And this is good while we tried shit like, wow, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is like absolute ice. Okay, I'm now getting worried that I still have my laptop in my backpack. For fuck's sake, I didn't expect this to be this slippery. Okay. For fuck's sake. Wow. Okay, maybe taking the shoes off was not the smartest idea at the end. Oh. Okay. Very slippery indeed. Wondering how the rubber behaves with the slippery surface. Does the shoe say about it? Oh yeah, the shoe also doesn't like it. The current is not strong, per se, but let's say it's strong enough. which is not a good thing. So yeah, we will still try it with the bike because we need to start somewhere, you know. The current here in the middle, this is where oh, for fuck's fucking hell. Okay, this will literally be a very tough one because I just fell on my ass almost. Yeah, let's check out where it's like not that slippery. So here it's fine. Here you have some profile in it. Here it's very fucking slippery. Here's the strongest point where you like really feel it. Like the current is strong enough that if the bike drops, that it will get dragged into this, like 100%. Should I take my stuff off of it, just for safety? I think I can manage. I'm really going to suffer the consequences of that little bit of laziness, but I think it should be fine. So, we're going to do it now. We're doing it barefoot. I know that that is not how you're supposed to do it, but like having completely wet shoes takes days to get fixed. And I will go through it very slowly because everywhere where there's not rock is very, very, very slippery. And I can feel my feet are literally not helping me, and we're now going to the worst part of it. You guys must think this is ridiculous. I'm riding through this with my feet down. But you could have went through there faster, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, and we just did it. We just did our first river crossing on this channel. So, yeah. Pretty stoked. So, over there, a proper trail is starting. We just went over this part of the Trans-Europe Trail, and this looks more trail-ish. So we're going to take out the ABS fuse. So let's go! Yeah, here we go. This is the fuse, we got it. After the first time of going through a river crossing, we have the next challenge, the first single track of this motorcycle tour. Yeah. And it's a lot more difficult than I expected the first bit. So let's get up on this bike here to have some more control. In general, I'm a bit suspicious with like single trails. I always want to see that I'm always on the super legal stuff here. Not just because of legality, but also because there has been a war in this country a few decades back, and there are still active mines in the landscape. So yeah. Of course, instantly, when trying to set up the camera for one of my cool shots, the bike fell over. Fuck. The bike survived that wall. Nothing's bent. Not even a scratch. Oh, good. So after now having successfully mastered that single trail, we're back on some better road, and the bike managed that so far quite well. The mirror was a bit like I needed to fasten the mirror again, and but apart from that it was all good. We are currently on our way to a viewpoint that is set up here in the Trans-Europe Trail. Really curious about that, and we'll probably have some water there. Even though you might not notice it, we're actually quite far up in height. We're at 1,000 meters, and that happened over the last 15 minutes, so it was all like really steep here. Well, we went from 500, 600 meters to 1,000 meters in 15 minutes, so it wasn't that crazy, but still quite a lot of steep roads. And yeah, here it is. Actually some other off-road riders, and actually a Royal Enfield Himalayan. That is pretty cool, first time seeing the bike in person.
Die Himalayan, mit der wir hier auch unterwegs waren, hat es vorbildlich vorgemacht.
I just ran into the guys of the 1000 PS YouTube channel from Austria. They're quite a well-known channel in the German-speaking world, and they're currently reviewing here the Himalayan. And so nice to also have a look at the bike. As I know, many of you guys are also interested in that bike, so I will see if I maybe can interview one of them, what they think of the bike so far. So, riding over the Trans-Europe Trail here with my Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, I randomly ran into the guys of the 1000 PS TV channel from Austria, and as some of my viewers are also from Austria, I decided to ask them for an interview because they're currently testing here the new Royal Enfield Himalayan, and it will probably still be some time until I get my hands on that. So, what is your guys' opinion on the Royal Enfield Himalayan so far?
If I have to shorten it, it's a hell of a deal. It's just the bang for the buck. Incredible if you compare how much it costs and how much you get, because it can do everything. Maybe nothing exceptionally well, but anything you want. If you want to go on the motorway, the engine can handle it. It's stable. If you would upgrade your standard windshield, which is a bit small, you would have also good wind protection. If you go through the twisties, it can do that. And off-road, of course, torquey engine, good suspension. I loved it. I got to ask them some questions that I really wanted to know about the new Himalayan. That video will release tomorrow, or you can click on it on the top right hand corner. So now, after running into the guys from 1000 PS TV, we're sitting here now at one of the biggest swamp lakes in Europe. It's right now not that full, even though it rained quite a lot, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, actually quite wild, just randomly running into other YouTubers, I have to say. I now gave them my email address and everything, and we'll try to apply at that YouTube channel, maybe for like a journalistic type of job in like the whole motorcycle sphere, and maybe it works. Maybe helps having run into those guys. So yeah, let's see what will come from it, and let's get back on the road. I'm currently setting up my camera here for an outside shot, and I earlier said in a by sentence that they have an issue with mines here. I don't know how big that issue actually is, because I just saw something. You guys in the comments tell me what it is, because if it is, it could also be something that measures weather or something, but it looks slightly suspicious. I saved the point on my GPS, so if you guys think it maybe is the real deal, leave it in the comments. Like, what is that thing? Don't you think that looks slightly suspicious?
Apparently mines more look like this here. Let's have a look at this one. Oh fuck. That looks like exactly the thing that I'm seeing there. But this one seems to be out of plastic. Maybe it's just some opening for some drainage system. But I mean, fuck. Also, this is like not even that far away from the path. I don't know. A lot of stuff to unpack, a lot of stuff happened. So, first of all, you guys really helped me out earlier, because when I had to lift my motorcycle, I used a technique that one of you recommended to me in the comments of another video that I was not aware of, because the technique that I know didn't work there because the bike was laying on an incline and the ground was very soft. So first of all, thank you for that. And yeah, it was lovely meeting the people of 1000 PS TV, even though it took some time getting the little interview done about the Himalayan. And now we're basically a bit late, so I kind of need to hurry a bit over the Trans-Europe Trail, which basically just means driving and not constantly setting up the camera. Yeah, for all my non-German viewers, which are quite like most of you guys basically, I think I only have like 8 to 12% German viewers. Yeah, 1000 PS TV is basically one of the biggest, like if not the biggest German YouTube channel about motorcycles, and they're kind of like donut media, but like for motorcycles and in Germany. This one little thing I found in the forest right next to the path looked exactly like some pictures of mines out of the Yugoslavian war. Do I think now this was one of those things? No, probably not. Because it looked a bit too new for that. And also, what are the chances? And it was like right next to the way, and it's probably more like, you know that this is one of the countries where things like that can exist, so maybe I just mistook something that would look similar to the real thing, you know? But I don't know. Let me know in the comments, and I don't know what to do in cases like that. Do I need to call some number? I now saved the point in my GPS, so that if you guys think that it's like the real deal, I can give the information to the authorities or something. I don't even know how that works. Like, or do people just let those things be because there are a lot of them and it would be too much work to diffuse them or some shit? Like, but at the same time, that would be a bit wild, because that thing was like 1.30 meters of the road, which basically would mean, now I didn't measure it, but like looked like it, which now would mean that if you take a step off the road to take a piss, you can already just combust. That would be not that nice. And also, like, something that I wanted to say, the Trans-Europe Trail so far is so beautiful. Like, the landscape that we're seeing and all the stuff that we get to see. Like, you see very little, like, human life on it. You just see basically, except the guys from 1000 PS TV, you just see beautiful landscape. And I think that is so lovely. And a lot of untouched stuff that you also didn't really had like that on the Trans-Czech Trail, because on the Trans-Czech Trail it was more common to run into parts of like civilization. While here you have sometimes views about landscapes where just no one is, which is so nice. So, I just made some Google research and found out my earlier suspicion of having found something that looked like a landmine, where I already was like thinking it's probably not actually was not a landmine because, well, most super likely because Slovenia has been landmine free since the 90s. The only reason why I thought that there still would be some is because online, when I googled and made research about the Trans-Europe Trail, it said to be careful with stuff like that, so yeah. Currently looking for a space to stay for the night. I looked in Delnice, but all the stuff in Delnice is very expensive. So what other big cities are there behind the border? 1,000 fucking bucks? What are my filters? This is hilarious. I tried to find a spot in this one city, and the only space that they had is for like 1,400 bucks. So I now find a good place that is a bit farther away, but has better quality, and we're going to go there now because it's in the right direction anyway. Like, it was with the booking.com Genius Rabatt. A really nice place for 31 bucks. So, we're very close to making our way over to Croatia. Oh, there is a big border control. I didn't expect it to look like that. I thought it would be just a bridge. But it seems like no one is here at the border checkpoint, so let's go! And welcome to Croatia! Going over this river we went along, that is the border. And now, freie Durchfahrt, let's go! We made it to Croatia, we're finally here. How cool! I still have 1 hour in front of me until my place to stay. So, let's get going! So my camera ran out of battery before I arrived at the guest house, and this is my room. Nice bed, everything. It's actually really crazy because this is 31 bucks for a night, and I just had some amazing food that the host of this guest house prepared. It's a bit of a similar concept to Airbnb, just on booking.com basically. And with this being 31 bucks a night, this place here, which is also not that small, is actually just as expensive as rent in my hometown. Well, a bit cheaper actually, about 100 bucks cheaper than rent in my hometown. And the place you could rent for that money in my hometown would be less square meters. That's pretty wild to think about actually. Yeah, and with that, see you guys in the next episode.